Okay, I think I have already muted everyone. So if it is required to ask your questions, you can write down through the chat box, or also you can just raise your hand. So I think there is an option to raise your hand so that I can allow you for speak something. Just let me start the class right now. Okay. So this is the file I shared already, and I am going to my third sheet. I'm going to third sheet. So is the file is available to you all? Someone one or two just respond me just yes or no on the chat box. Is the file is available to you all? Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. So I think it's available to all. If someone has missed the file, please knock me. I will help you. Or it's available maybe on the site also. You just review the file and hopefully you will get it. Okay, no problem. Any other participant can also help you. So here are the list of formulas that I collected from 2010 versions, and it's almost 400 individual formula, but I'm afraid always we use single formula can be used in a nested way, and that's why I'm suggesting you all to learn the basics first for the formula and functions. So how we can learn actually the formula and function? There are basically three different techniques how we can learn Microsoft Excel formula. So there is a tab called data tab. Okay, just make sure that your audio mode is in the mute because some noise is appearing there. We'll look into that. Okay, every time I'm not going to mute yourself, so please take care of that issues. So I'm going to share you some tips and tricks related to learning Microsoft Excel formula and its logical arguments. So the first thing is that you'll have to know the name of the formula that is going to use for your calculation purpose. That means why we use formula? We use formula to do some calculations, because in a Microsoft Excel there's a lots of cells, and in the cell you just maintain your data. Say let me take some random data. To generate random data, I can use a formula rand or rand between. If I'm very much fast, then just also raise your hands. You see, if I'm a little bit fast, okay, I'm trying to grow gradually, but if I am fast, then please raise your hand so that I can control myself. Okay, so just rand between is a formula. So what I've done, I have just selected an area and I have typed a formula rand between. Okay, rand between, and I'm going to take some random numbers. So the logical argument is I'll have to put the bottom and top. That means the very smallest value and the largest value. If I put the largest value in front, it will show me an error. I'm just closing my bracket, and if I want to fill all the field at a time, I'll have to press the control key. Just pressing control key, I'll have to hit the enter. So here I'm getting some random numbers. There is the common feature of numbers that it's always stay on the right side of the cell. Always, if I just increase the size of my cell, so it's always stay on the right. But if I write down some text, it will stay on the left side. So these are the some common identification mark for being a number and being a cell. In many cases, whenever I do some calculations, say I just want to do the sum of that area, so this time it's giving me the right calculation. But if I do some error as let me do one thing, because the data are changing all the time, because rand between always changes its value every time I refresh the data. That's why what I'm doing, I'm just selecting the data, Control C for copy, and finally I just hit from home button paste and paste special. From the paste special, I'm just hitting values. So now all the formula has been converted to values. Hold on a second, please. No. So this time there is no formula. So in Excel, if I do any mistake or wrong step, then the step can be reverted by Control Z, like all other Microsoft options, like Control Z. If I hit Control Z, my formula come back. If I want to reback our own step, then I can write down Control Y. That means the wrong step will be again revert back. Wrong step will again revert back. Someone want to speak?
Yes, sir,
Madhuri?
I want to speak, sir.
Sir, please.
Yes, sir, I want to speak.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I want to know about rand between, sir.
Oh, you want to know?
Actually, your pace is so fast, sir. Please
Yes.
maintain your pace, sir.
Yeah, that's why I told you earlier that if I move very fast, please let me know so that I can control myself. Okay, no problem. I'm just explaining it in a slow mode. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your input.
And also, sir, before using the formula, please tell about the use of the formula, that why we use that formula.
Okay, I have just started. I just used rand between because I just need to have some data. That's why I just used that formula. But I have not entered into the gist. I will go gradually. Just I have taken some data, and that's why I just used rand between so that I can show you some formulas. Okay, no problem. Just let me continue. So the thing that I have done, I have taken a data because when you are going to start practicing your Excel operation, definitely you need some demo data. You need to demo data. You need to collect some templates, the free Excel file, or you can just collect data from online so that you can play game with your data. So that's why I'm just picking some data using the rand between function. I will also explain how I have used the rand between function and what is the use of that functions. So if I want to learn all the formulas, so I have told you that 3 different methods. The first one is that just in any cell write down equal because every formula starts with the equal, and there are 2 options also, plus and minus sign also leads a formula, but in many cases we use equal sign. The equal sign is the most of the times. So I'm just hitting enter and then just start typing the letter. All the formula actually starts with a letter. It's follow the sorting convention also. So if you want to have a formula starting with B, just type B, then take the second letter, or just hit your keyboard downside, or you can just use your mouse to go up and down, and you just select your desired one. In B there are very less formula common, but in the later C there are lots of formula that are very much familiar with us. So if I want to pick any one of the formulas, say characters, so I just want to hit tab. So in this way you can pick any formulas, but before having the formula you must know what the formula you really requires. So that's why you'll have to go the formula tab. In the ribbon formula tab, the formula actually categorized into 8 different way. The formula, just let me check, please chat for relevant query. Okay, no problem. Yeah, if you are available on the chat, please answer the query if it's available to you, so that the user can, because I deeply believe that there are many Excel experts are attending the class for refreshing their mind. So if any beginner or intermediate level or any person who don't know about the topics, you can just ask here, and I think my fellow participant will answer your queries. Okay, thank you for the opinion. So I was just talking about Excel formula. Actually in my YouTube channel I started a video, but I'm afraid the video language is in Bangla. Very soon I'm going to make it in English, or I will add some subtitle there. Just you can have a little glimpse of that, how I have tried to make myself expert in Microsoft Excel formulas, mastering Excel formulas. That means I picked a challenge that I will learn at least 100 formula for my own use before starting teaching Microsoft Excel. So from there I just made a video there. So you can also have some idea and go through that video, the complete list of formula and function in MS Excel and techniques. That was the title of that video, and I have tried to show there. You can learn formula from the ribbon. That just I have showed you. From the ribbon you can learn the formula. Here the formula are categorized into 8 different groups. That means if you are from the financial background or you want to do some calculation related to finance, then you are here. If you want to apply some logic logical arguments, then the place is for you. If you want to use some text function, all the functions are available there. If you want to date and time related, so all our options are there. So the very first option is your ribbon, because all the formulas are available there. You can also have the formula, the similar formula. Just let me do that. Okay, from the formula bar there is an icon fx. Fx is also very correlated to the formula tab. Just you can hit fx, so there will be a pop-up window. In a pop-up window, select the categories. So here are all the options. The same thing that available and that area in formulas, that options are available through the function fx. Just you can select the areas what you want to apply. Say you want to do some date and time related formulas, just select this one and this subcategory will be available. When it will be on all mode, all the formulas will be available. That means you will get total 400 formulas there. But when you will select the category, it will be available in front of your eyes, and you can just take your own one. So just double click this one, and the logical arguments are appearing here. The logical arguments are appearing here part by part. But when you are going to apply the formula using the cell, these logical arguments are splitted by different box. Just let me have it different formulas so that you can understand fx. So this time I'm going to use Vlookup function. So here just I'm going down again, this time some, okay, share the Excel file. So participant has the mute options. Okay, so by this way here you can just use that one, or you can just started writing this way. Just Vlookup, just selected that one, double click, and then you can go up there. Okay, up there, so that you can split your logical arguments. So at least here there are 4 logical arguments for Vlookup. So this is really very important to understand the logical argument, how many argument you need to put to starting a formula. So these are the very basic you must know. So if you want to apply the Vlookup formulas, then definitely you'll have to use 4 different logical arguments. If you use fx function, then the appearance will be like that. But if you don't use that, then just write down here, this is Vlookup. So you are getting a information box. You are getting a information box. You can move it here and there for your convenience, but you will get the information that guide you to use your formula. Say just I have write down VL, that means Vlookup starts with V and L. Just I am double clicking or just hitting tab. 2 options. The blue bar, just hit double click or just click the tab button. When there is multiple formulas are available there, just use your keyboard or your mouse. Just here, just select that one, double click or tab, double click or tab. Or just if you are very much confident that the formula is okay, then just write down, no problem, just Vlookup and your first bracket, then the logical argument you can continue, no problem. But make sure you have spelled the right word. Okay, so by this way you can just use your Vlookup values and then the logical argument one by one. The comma separated is actually the logical argument separation. There are 4 logical argument we already seen by fx function, the lookup values, then table arrays, then column index, and finally the match type, true or false or 0 or 1. So we will explore Vlookup actually. So the first option I have explained about the ribbon. Just know the name of ribbon that brings you the output of your Excel calculation. If you want to have some addition, then go for sum. If you want to count down, then go count, counter, countif, count blank, like that way. So just go to the ribbon and know your desired formulas. The second one I have already discussed about the typing method. That means just write equal. This is the condition, just type equal and A, B, C, like that way with the Z. I have tried to make some calculation with this type memory techniques, counting is group. Yes, here it is. So I have tried to calculate all the formulas are there. text related formula, there are 24, date and time 24, math and tricks 63, maybe that one the highest. No, that the highest is statistical formulas. There are available 95. So it's not mandatory you will have to know all those things. Starting letter A 21, B 15. I have just calculated. I don't calculated it one by one. I have just separated the first letter and then just Countif by using the formula, because it's not possible to count one by one. I will show you. So this is actually the categorization, the smallest function, the largest function. There are 10 smallest function you must know for your convenience. Say t itself is a formula, n itself is a formula, if is a formula. These are the very smallest formula, and these are the very largest in size, not in the use, largest in size. That means it contains the maximum letters. So if I want to know how many letters are there, you can use a formula lane. Lane actually stand for lane. So just hitting that one and hitting enter. So there are 18 characters are there available there for this word or this formula. So but definitely this one is much longer than that one. Okay. So these are the small glimpse of Excel formulas, and where we were at that position. We have already covered two options, review and typing, and then the final one. It's really very important, because these two options will lead you the overall 400 formulas. You won't be able to segregate yourself which formula is really very required or not. So first thing you will have to do that, you will have to segregate formulas with major or minor. Major, that means which is important for you and which is not important for you. So you will have to make your own customized list. There are lots of comments are there. Did you call me? Hey buddy, where you were from? Did you use country code Canada? But I'm requesting my all participants, don't try to use this platform from any spamming type, or please don't try to teach anyone, because we are very much respectful to each one. So I think everyone will be very passionate. And this is really very certain. Who wanna date? No worries, I will come to India region next week. It's really very pathetic. I'm going to block you, man, if you use your personal purpose for this platform. We are here to help you people, and I'm really honestly requesting you, please don't use for your personal purpose. It's a good platform, I think. Please don't force me to stop it down. Okay, so please stop personal messaging. So I'm not going to open my chat box anymore if you discontinue. Okay, so I'm continuing my discussion. Ribbon, formulas, typing, and your own customized list. So what can be actually your own customized list? Just I have tried to memorize my things or make it formulas. The formula actually pronounced as temp DML3 formulas lyrics. That is actually I tried to take a first letter of each category. That means text, date and time, math and tricks. So having each the letter, I tried to make a lyrics. That means so that I can very easily recollect my all formulas in a smallest possible way. So if it is possible, I will take a class on my blackboard so that it can be visible to you and understand. Okay, so I will take care after the class. Just someone please note down the number, and I will block him after the session. Please, someone please note the number and let me know after the session. Okay, so these lyrics will be used to memorize your thing. How we can memorize, and the most crucial part is that not only the formula categories, but the individual formula style. Say DML actually stand for date and time. So date and time related, how many formulas can be? So I have tried to explain in that way. So date and time, say date and time, date has year, month, and day, and time has minute, hour, second. So itself are formulas now today. So I'm requesting you to just review the style, and so that you can memorize your own list. So 3F actually, 3F I have explained the next slide. And L3 there is a logical combination. So lower, upper, proper, left, right, mid, and lane, trim, concatenate, combine. So like that way I have just tried to memorize myself all the formulas. So you can also try on that, so that you can have say list of 100 and 120 formulas. So after getting all the formulas in your mind, or just create a list of 20 or 30 formulas. Say yesterday we tried to accumulate all the list. People have suggested me to use Vlookup, Ace lookup. So I also added SumIf, Countif. These are also very important formula. Countif, offset, index, such like that. But just you will have to prepare your own list. So I've tried to show you on a display how we can make your own customized list. So this formula are very little, about 20 to 30 formulas. Just you'll have to make your own list. That means you just correlate your own work, because when the Microsoft expert has developed Microsoft Excel, they have considered all the profession, the financial people, the quality people, the engineering people. They have considered all the profession, but you are not eligible for all the profession. Maybe you are a chemist, maybe you are a pharmacist, maybe you are an engineer or IT professional. So just correlate your profession and select the list of formulas you require for your day-to-day life. Then start practicing all those formulas. So when you will freeze your list of formulas, then you will have to learn this part. This part is actually called the logical argument. So logical argument, that means the input you are going to input through your Excel cell. That means first you will have to input some information into there, and then you are expecting some outcome. So here I have selected a cell. That means I am expecting a output here. So what the output, it depends on your requirement. Say I need to calculate the SumIf or sum. Just I'm taking simple formula. Just I'm typing 1, 2, 3, and I want to have sum. I'm just write down sum. Double click or tab, and then I will have to input the logical argument. The logical argument I can put this way, or I can just put in that way, no problem. So I'm just hitting enter. So the logical argument that I have put it's very important. How I have put the logical argument one by one, or in a single manner, or a cumulative way. So here I have tried to use this logical argument. So here the sum formula, it does not require any logical argument. Say it's now, I'm going to use now. So it doesn't require any argument within the brackets. Just I write down the now, and it's given me an output, that is current date and time. If I use just today, just if I hit double quote marks and enter, that's I'm getting date. If I use row, just simple formula row, the rows, that means the position of the sale, the row, it's the 19, that means it's staying in the 19 numbers rows. So it's getting me an output. So it has no logical arguments. So here are some functions that it's called single arguments. It's required single arguments. So here I have already used single one by one, or although it looks like a multiple, but it's actually a single one. If I just cross out that part and hit enter, then it will be also give me an output, just single input. That means the part is not separated by a comma, only smallest part. So here are some formula that requires only one argument. Say I want to input the rows. So just go down and tab, then I just select a area and just controlling and enter. So I have selected that. If I hit in an edit mode, is just showing the selected area. That means that area contains 5 rows. I can just hit F9 to take the outcome in a formula. F9 is a shortcut to take the outcome. To bring it back, just hit escape button to bring it back as a formula. If I want to display the formula in Excel bar, I can hit control tilt, just the button above the tab. I can hit control tab. Sorry, it has become so much larger. So I can visible my formula. Here I have used 4 different formulas, and now the formulas are visible. So I have used 2 or 3 shortcuts. It has also the long cut also. Just control tilde. So where is the long cut? Just formula is there. Here are some options. Show formula. The show formula actually the shortcut for showing formulas and hiding your formula. So still, sir, please close the chat box. Okay, I'm just closing the chat box. Thank you. I'm expecting no chatting. Just after the end of the session, I'm going to give you a floor for 5 to 10 minutes. Then ask all the questions or knock me personally. I will try to serve you. But right now, I'm not going to entertain anyone through the chat box. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So the second I have already covered, the logical argument, only one. The third type is that I have two arguments. Say here I have some values 1, 2, 3. I want to calculate the value large. The large, that means if I want to have some chronological order of from a large data set, it's a demanding array or the table. So I'm just selecting the array and how many position, that means first, second, third or the fourth. At least the total counting number should be less than the value of k. That means it has total 3 values. So if I going to put fourth value, it not going to give me any answer, but it can give me answer if I write down 1, 2. The 1 that means first, 2 means second, 3 means third. If I hit 3, then definitely it's going to show me the value. Sorry, the large one, it's show me 3. Not say it should be 1. Okay, just let me do that a little bit exercise. Sometimes it can happen, so I'm not going to explore it, but it should be there. Say 455. Just let me take another data set. Just 4. Just I'm hitting that one. Just I have changed the value on that way. So if I hitting large the formula, large array, I'm going to use array. Then I want to have the second largest value from here. So I think it will be okay now. So just let me put all the values here. 550. So now I think it's all right now. So it's very clear that you need to input a reference in a column. So I just made it post tag. I just used rows, and that's why it's just considered that row. So you will have to use only a column as a reference. So this is actually very important. What type of input you need to give it there. So I just taken multiple columns. So it's not going to take multiple column. It is considering only single column. So among a column, it can define the position as first, second, third. If I put maybe after that the third is 55. So if I put instead of 2, 3, then it's going to show me the value 55. So if I make it between 78 and 74, like 575, then it's going to change there. So automatically it's changing there. So my goal is that I want to explain the logical argument having two parts. So this is actually the two part, the first one and the second one. The similar formula is small, round, Countif. So Countif, what is the use of Countif? That means if I want to count the specific values, say I want to count if the Countif is at the 8th or 9th position, just tab, then I'm selecting range. It's demanding range, and I want to count, say, the number 5. I'm just putting here 5. So here is one thing, let me make a bit clear. So when I'm going to input any number as a reference, I don't need to use any inverted comma or quoted form. But if I want to use a text, so definitely I will have to input it through inverted comma. So here I have just input 5, then I'm hitting enter. So it's showing me that there are 3 5s. So if I want to change one value, it will 2. If I put this one also, this will 1. If I put it there, it will be 0. In similar way, if I want to put a text 1, text the same thing that I did earlier. If it is text, it will be on the left side. If it is a number, it will stay on the right side. There is a segregation. So here I want to count the text. I'm just hitting enter. So it's giving me no outcome because it's can't identify the text as a Countif function. So if I use double inverted comma there, then it show me that it has two texts. So these are the convention. If I make it little bit changed, it's going to show me only one. That means it's working. So my goal was that I was just explaining logical arguments that some formula have nothing, some formula have one, some formula have two, and I have taken an example. Some formula have three. That means sum if. So sum if, let me take a demo data so that I can explain it very clearly. Demo data, let me open a file. So this is a file actually. So in my earlier class I tried to show you the participant mute all. Yes, sorry for keeping you mute condition everyone, because it's creating some noise for everyone. So this is actually a file. So here if I want to calculate some specific person's sum, that means say I'm just taking that region. So I want to calculate not rated value. So not related value, that means this is my target cell. I want to calculate the value for not rated person, and from where I want to calculate the outcome from L column. So this is my table actually, and this is my expected person who I'm going to calculate the sum, and this is my location where I want to use the sum if. So here I want to have an outcome. See here I want to have an outcome. Just let me make it a little bit zoom so that you can understand very clearly. So this is the location where I want to apply a formula. Just let me make a positioning. So I want to use sum if. So I have typed just sum and if and double click one. So I have activated my formula in edit mode. So when I am clicking that one, so it show me the helping information. First you will have to input your range, then you'll have to put your criteria, then you'll have to put your sum range. So these are actually the three helping information. So first I need to input the area. So I am choosing. So here there is a logical moment. If you want to calculate the sum if for any function, definitely you will have to put it at the very first column. So if I select from there, it's not going to show you any value. So definitely you will have to start from that one, at least the first column. So here I am just hitting there and just pressing shift. I am going one by one, or you can just select in by drag and drop mode. So just like that way, and control plus shift and hitting enter, so that it can pick the total region. So your formula is at the top and you are staying in the bottom, and really you want to put some more logic. So how you can go to the up if you have really a large amount of data? So going like that way, it's really very not tough, but it's a little bit boring. So just press control key and hit the back button. Just pressing control, just hit the back button, it will take you to the initial position. So I have already inputted. The references looks like a blur because it's a Excel table, and that's why it has picked the table name or column name. So this comma is very important. So I have already put the range. So I have sorry, maybe I have done some mistake. Just let me delete it. Just choose that part and I am hitting that one. Okay, just pressing comma. This is my first argument, control back, and the second argument I am going to put this one. So this is my second argument, and my sum range is actually that area, and I'm going to close my bracket and hitting enter. So hitting enter. So this time it has shown me an calculations. It has shown me and calculations. If I change the formatting mode number, then it can be a natural number, because in finance there is a value of positive and negative functions, so that's why the formatting is a little bit different. So you can change also your formatting options if you want to have it in currency mode, or if you want to have a comma separator, then you can use your own formatting options as you like most. You can use some decimal places from there. The area has not covered, and that's why it's looking like an error, but it's giving me a calculation. So this is actually the third type. That means the three different logical arguments are available there. And the fourth one is Vlookup, the most crucial one. So Vlookup is really very useful functions. If any person asked me that, sir, how many formulas I can learn? If I speak him to learn at least 5 formulas, then Vlookup will be one of them. I will suggest Vlookup, Countif, SumIf. So these are really very important formula for Excel users. So I have used that part. So if I want to use Vlookup, say I want to expect now, and I want to have the value.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, I want to know about SumIf in details. You tell me this formula, but we can't understand the action. Where we use this formula? How can we use? If you give me in details, so I will be helpful.
Okay, no problem. Just let me make a bit details explanation about SumIf. Just take that column, okay? Just then copy, and I am just hitting Control N for taking a new sheets. It's a large amount of data, and that's why it's taking much time. I'm just hitting paste, and I'm going to use data remove duplicate. Just okay. Just what you have seen there, I have just removed all duplicate. That means the key person here are only if I select that one, you can have a status bar status count 7. So that means here you have only 7 actions player, but in that file they are staying in marbles. That means say how I can explain it. Say this is your earning scope. So not rated condition, you have earned in a day, that means 5, in a day 10, in a day 5, in a day 20. That means throughout the year you have just earned like that way. But it is the entry, mention the entry like that way in an Excel sheet like that way, 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, like that way. But this is the not only value. So randomly you have just here and there lots of different position from a column, but you want to have an output. That means specific area wise. Say I want to use the SumIf function here, SumIf, and the formula can be applicable all the open Excel files. So I'm just going to apply a formula in a different shades. So this time I'm going to choose the same logical arguments. I have just selected a table and then just hitting comma, and my logical arguments are there. So I'm choosing that value, and again I'm choosing comma, and my sum area situated at that area. Okay, I'm just closing the bracket and hitting enter. That means and that sheet no matter how many times not rated or where it's located, it will sum only that values part, where the not rated position, that part. If I just drag and down, so it will give me the value for all the persons. So past, the total amount for past, that is unrated, that is approved, that means the SumIf formula is especially used to make some sums based on some logical argument. That means not logical argument, conditions. That means you want to sum a column, but based on that value. So the only value will be sum for not rated here. Only the value will sum for past area here. So I have you have got some idea about SumIf.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I have a
So
question.
yes.
So what is the difference between SUMIF and SUMIFs or Countif and Countifs? Like
Actually, conditions, that means you have only one condition or you have multiple conditions. Say sometimes you need to calculate some value larger than 4 and less than 10. So here the logical arguments are 2, not only 1. So like that way you will have to use the ifs. That means the condition is more than once. Right now I'm unable to give you an example because I don't have any idea right now, but so far I know the condition is multiple, some ifs and ifs. That means in the part count if and count ifs. So in the next class I will try to put an example so that I can explain it very clearly. Right now I don't want to take any challenges. Okay. So count if and count ifs, maybe it has multiple criterias. Okay. Some ifs are the
Excuse me,
same.
sir. Sir, can you please share this Excel sheet, IDMB data sheet?
Yes. So it's I have collected the data from website, so I think it should not be any strike rate. It's free to use.
For practice, much
Okay.
more.
Okay, no problem. Just after the session, I'm going to put it in the.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Telegram source. So, and the last condition, the more than 5. Actually, I don't know how to use this formula, but financial people maybe know. But if I'm going to use that PMT, I think it will show you 5 logical arguments.
Sorry,
maybe.
boss, you cannot understand the VLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP, I didn't continue
Yes,
VLOOKUP.
yes.
Okay. Thank you. No problem. So I have selected that area. Say in some cases we have some people name. Or in many cases we have some table. Say ID, name, and designation like that information. Say this ID is 6681, this 1250, say 2250, and you have some names, the XYZ, and the designation is PQR. Okay, PQR. But the list may be about 5,000, 10,000, no problem. But when it's required to know the designation of this person, say 6681, you just want to know the designation of that person. So that person, I'm just giving an example. Say here you have some 5,000 data, and in that case you have choose just only 10 people you just want to. But searching in a table, it's not so easy that you will get. If you go one by one, say Control F, just write down 661 and hitting enter and going to find out this one. So this formula can be help you through VLOOKUPs. Just I am using the VLOOKUP functions, just equal VLOOKUP. Okay, just I'm hitting VLOOKUP. So it's showing me the helping information. So lookup value. So lookup value is, that means the based on what I'm looking, what information. So this is my lookup value. Then I'm going to use an separator as comma, then table array. That means this is my table. This time it's only very small, but if it has so many data, so you can just expand like that way, or just hit that area, just Control Shift like that way, just to control down. Okay, just table, and then separator again, comma, then column index. Column index is that just consider this value at this location. Just I'm not going to hit that one. Just consider this. This is actually will be your first column. So 661 is actually situated on R column, so this will be your number 1. So considering this, just go right and add 1. So this is, if this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3. So your designation is located on number 3 columns, so you have to use 3 column index number. This is actually called column index number. And then the final separator column, and it's showing me true or false. There is a sign approximate mass. That means my name is MD Hassan Habib, so it says contain 4 words. But if it mass partially only MD Hassan Habib, then it can also show me the output. But it's very risky for the calculation. But exact mass is that I need the exact match. That means the ID 661 will be only ID 661. So this time I'm going to choose false, just false, double click. There is also mathematical term for true or false. If I use 0, 0 means the true. Just I have just typed 0 there. It's showing me approximate match, not actually, just it show me the helping here, but 0 actually means for exact match. But if I input 1, it will be partial match. Okay, so this time I'm going to use false. Just double click false. Don't be confused, just double click false. Just close your bracket and hit enter. So this time I'm going to have the value P against P. If I put the value here, okay, this is going to R. But guys, please allow me only 20 seconds. Someone has knocked me on the door. Okay, I'm just coming. Only 10 seconds. Sorry for holding you down, guys. Thank you. So I hope you have got some understanding about the VLOOKUP functions. Just considering this, respective that it will put me here. So if another value, that means my hobby. Just I'm typing my hobby. So this I'm choosing here, playing. Playing is my hobby, although the spelling is incorrect. So if I just put this one at that location and just change the reference as 3 to 4, just I'm moving one side down. But here one thing, when I'm selecting in editing mode, it's showing me the table is up to that, so I will have to extend also my table. So T was the last and I have extended a column, so that's why I need to change the U up to U. That means I have extended my table and extended column index. I'm just going to hitting enter, and this time what the value I'm expecting, this is playing, so I have write down playing. So in this way we can use the VLOOKUP. And PMT, just let me, what is the terminology PMT? This is actually financial functions, PMT tab, and this time I'm going to use FX. So just I'm showing you that it has 5 logical argument: rate, end per, and PV, FV, present value, future value, and type. So this is the especially related to the financial people, so I'm not going to apply this, but it has 5 arguments. Or in some cases you can have multiple arguments, like sum, you can use multiple arguments also, like that way. So sum, just have it here, just like that way. Use comma, just use comma, use range, different type range, no problem. Just you can use like that way, unlimited. This is infinity, so just hit close and hit enter. So it's also going to give you an value, Okay guys, so my friends, I want to close the class right now. If you have any queries, then you can ask me 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully I will continue my class about an hour, plus minus 5 or 10. So do you have any questions regarding the today's session?
Sir, can you please explain that summing function same as VLOOKUP?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Please, will you please repeat?
Can you please explain the same way how you explain the VLOOKUP function for SUMIF? By making one data, and it will be clear to us.
Like that way.
Yeah.
From this
by
table.
Making one data and short.
How the example can be? Okay, so let me pick some movie's name. Okay. Yes, the new sheets this time. I can also remove the duplicate in that way, but this time the value is used because the movie name are different. So just let me delete some parts. Say you have lots of data there, lots of data there. So I'm just cutting down some values, and you right now really need to know some information only regarding this. So this is your master data. So this is your master file, and you want to know the language of the movie. You just want to know the language of your movie. That means you have said that you want to watch that movie, but you don't know the movie is on English or Hindi or your mother tongue. So it's really need to know the name of the language of the movie. So I'm just write down the language. Okay, the language. So I'm going to expecting the outcome all the language of that movie, and below the data I'm just going to remove it down. Okay, I have just cut it down. So I have selected that movie and I want to know the language of that movie. So how I can have a Vlookup? So right now I'm going to use Vlookup. Just double click or tab. So Vlookup. Then I'm going to use lookup value. So which one is my lookup value? This one. Then again I'm using comma, and where is my array? So array is here. So this is actually very crucial, like the sum if. So first you'll have to put your first column. If I choose this one, it's not going to give you any value. Okay, so this is your first column, and just select the column up to language. It's not important that you'll have to go up to, but at least you'll have to keep the coverage. So it's no problem if I go up to the end, that means up to x to xfd, no problem, but you'll have to cover at least this column. So I have completed the second argument, that means lookup value and lookup table. So I'm going for third argument. So third argument is my column index number. So how I can get it? So number B is my starting column. So number B will be 1, C will be 2, D will be 3, E will be 4, and F will be 5. So my expected column is 5. So I'll have to put it here 5. Then separator, and for exact match I'm going to use 0 or false. I'm going to close the brackets. So instead of using the column index like that way, you can also use columns functions. Columns functions. I have not shown you any nesting formulas. So column functions, just select that part from starting to end. Just select that part and close the bracket and hit the enter. I'm expecting the outcome, the value. That means the over the hill to the poorhouse movie is on English language. Just hit double click and hopefully you will get all the outcomes. That means my expected value, the bullet train, the movie is based on English language, but in German the metropolis. Okay, so I think we have got a glimpse of examples of Vlookup, my friend. Okay, is it recorded lecture available to us? Okay, so let me do some marketing from my side. Okay, so but you expected to have the recorded class. Just a minute. So this is my YouTube, and I tried to upload the video of my last class. Okay, this one might be. So I'm just sharing the link. Please have a look on that. This is based on the introduction of Microsoft Excel learning. I'm going to share the link. If you really have some faith on me and really love my efforts, then you can hit like, subscribe, or some contribution for my YouTube channel, so that I can really be pleased for your contribution. Okay, I'm just sharing the file, and hopefully I'm going to upload the today's class also when the recording and the processing will be completed. Okay. So
when will next class will start?
Actually next class will be on, just a minute, will be 7th June, and the topic will be VBA and macros. It will be dedicatedly on VBA and macros. Okay, as I have declared this on my LinkedIn profile, I'm going to follow this 5 classes, and if the participants are really interested to join with me, just stay connected with me, and hopefully I'm going to arrange additional classes, because the 5 topic that I have shared here, we can conduct at least 10 to 20 classes on each topic, because VBA is very vast areas, Microsoft Excel is a vast area, formula and function is a vast area. So each topic we can conduct really very mass classes, but I have promised that I will conduct 5 classes on different topics, and that's why I will follow that one. So last class and today's, it was on the basic Excel, and the third one will be on Vivian macro, the fourth one will be Power Query and pivot table, and the final and the last one will be fifth class, that will be on Power BI. So the same index I'm going to follow in the next 3 days also, and after that we will decide how we can create our engagement in future mode. Okay, thank you. There was another message that you requested to show you another example, but I'm really a bit tired and getting a little bit thirsty.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.